Whenever someone says AI, next time you have a conversation, you should have a clear picture in mind what he's talking about, and not just, some developer nerd showing you a picture of a big neural network and it's like, so this is how it works and that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, so what is AI? Now it's very difficult to talk about AI without this picture being shown somewhere, well, it's a very accurate depiction of AI if you ask me. And how so? You would think that this Terminator not know what you're talking about. I do know what I'm talking about because so how many of you over here think that AI is going to take over the world? Yeah? It's going to kill us all. Right? Okay. So, how so? So not just you, okay, some very, very smart people have raised similar questions, and you can see them here. So Elon Musk, he's very tense that AI is going to destroy us all. Sam Harris, Stephen Hawking, Nick Bostrom, all of these people have raised a lot of concerns about the AI creating massive problems in the world. But how can a bunch of if statements and for loops take over the world? Does anyone have any idea? Like, it's just a code, right? It's just like maybe doing some sort of computation. How do you think it's going to take over the world? So everyone who said they know that AI is going to take over the world, can anyone, maybe tell me how it's going to do it? No? No clue? Yes?
Actually, it improves itself.
Okay.
Like us, we are improving.
Right.
This one also improves itself and it keeps its state. Like for us, common new human, he needs to learn again from previous, from his father, from his mother. This AI improves and keep improving. He does not die.
Right. Absolutely. So that came very close to what I'm trying to tell you here. Because you have to understand. So I'm going to show you exactly how an AI is going to take over the world with a very small example. Why is Elon Musk so tense? Okay, so we have two people. We have a robotic arm and we have Billy. Billy is a developer. Yes?
I'm sorry that I don't know if all see this. The voice is a little loud. It's coming from the mic. I'm not sure if all feels this.
It's too loud?
Yeah,
Slow it down a bit.
Okay. I'm not sure if all feels.
I'll try to whisper.
No.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so we have a robotic arm and we have Billy, right? Billy is an engineer and he built this robotic arm. Now, this robotic arm has a camera built into it and he is trying to... so, essentially, you have to understand that what is the purpose of an AI? The purpose of an AI is to solve a problem that a human is already capable of solving, right? That's the crux of it. Now, let's just say Billy tells the robotic arm to solve the problem of humor. So it says that, okay, robotic arm, you have to make me laugh. Now, what does the AI try to do? AI has certain capabilities. In the AI, we have defined that in the camera, if you see Billy laughing, like if you see Billy smiling, good, you get brownie points. If you see Billy sad, not good, do something else, right? So the robotic arm, as you very well mentioned, is gonna try a bunch of things, see what works and see what does not work. When it'll give itself brownie points for what works, and if it'll give itself, down points if it does not work. Now, so what is the first thing the robotic arm tries to do? It does a funny dance. Okay, it moves around. It tries to move its arms and see if it can make Billy laugh. Billy thinks it's super funny. Wow, great. AI is solving a problem. So in terms of technology, in terms of the system that's driving the robot thinks that it's doing a very good job. Now, and AI also tries to optimize the problem. It also tries to find out that, is this the best way to do it? Okay, I found a nice way to make people laugh. If I move my arm like 2 times right, it makes people laugh. Great. So what is the next thing it tries to do? It says, okay, I have this arm. What if I smack Billy with it? Okay, and So now it's starting to come up with ideas. Okay, I have another arm, I can move it around, or I can hit Billy with it, right? It'll try to do that because there's no constraints, right? There's literally no constraint. There's a camera and there's a robotic arm, and it's going to try to do like 100 things to solve the problem. It just knows 2 things. Now, mind you, we try to equate artificial intelligence with humans, but artificial intelligence does not have a conscience. It has a problem that it needs solving, and it tries to reach that goal. And the constraints are put by humans. So there's no constraint here. The problem is make me laugh. Do whatever you have to do it. Okay? What happens? It cuts Billy's head off. It puts a smile on his face. Now I know this is a rather morbid example, but that's what it did. And what does the AI think? AI thinks it solved the problem, right? Billy's laughing. Great. Billy's never going to be sad again, ever. So this is what concerns the likes of Nick Bostrom and Elon Musk. They're like, this is just a robotic arm. Think about this network going all over the internet. Think about computations that we are not even capable of foreseeing. Think about what it can, another good example would be, what if we tell a worldwide AI to solve world hunger? Well, just kill everyone, right? No one's ever going to be hungry again. But that does not solve the problem, right? It does not have a conscience. There's a difference between intelligence and wisdom. I mean, this solves the problem, but Billy's dead, and the robot arm is proud, and we're not happy with it. So now this is just one part of AI. Now, when you look at AI, we have 2 things that we are looking at. So we have narrow AI and the super intelligent AI. The super intelligent AI, also known as the general AI, is what we talked about. It's what Elon Musk and Nick Bostrom and all these people are very worried about. But we see another part of AI, which is the narrow AI, which we use to solve very small particular problems. Like, so someone just came up and asked me, what is the difference between AI and machine learning? Like, that's a very good question. Machine learning is a subset of AI, just like computer vision, optimization problems. If you go back to the basics, what does an AI try to do? It's just trying to solve a problem that a human can solve in a better, more optimized way. So what do we do with the narrow AI? So all the different fields that you hear about a lot, like optimization problems, machine learning problems, robotics, computer vision, speech. These are what we would consider narrow AI, and super intelligent AI is out of the scope of this presentation. We're only going to be talking about narrow AI, and I would love to talk about super intelligent AI. So after the talk, if anyone wants to do it, we can pick it up later. But I want to show you, I want to get you guys excited about AI and thinking about whenever you're developing applications, students, or product managers or developers, you want to think that, so companies are trying to go AI first, right? And you want to think that how can AI solve a particular problem that you're solving with your business? How can it make it easier? How can it make it simple? And we're going to pick up the example of Fintech later. But essentially, this is what we're looking at now. I could go into the details of tensors and neural networks and deep neural networks, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show like a fundamental statement whenever you think about AI. Picture this: an AI is searching for patterns, systematically trying to make sense of things. Now, do you know what else tries to do this? Any guesses? Except for an AI, what else do we have in the world that is searching for patterns, systematically trying to make sense of things? Anyone?
Data scientists.
Sorry?
Data scientists.
Data scientists? Okay. Anyone else?
Humans.
Humans in general, yeah. Great. That is correct. I would say babies, right? Well, essentially, baby is just an, it doesn't care. make sense of anything. It's just, it doesn't care. It's just like a piece of fat that moves around and screams a lot. But surely their brain is doing something different, right? It happens a lot. I mean, if it can't make sense of things, surely the brain is doing something, right? And they try to do that. Something very similar to an AI. This is the kind of analogy I wanted to show you. I mean, how an AI works is very complicated, but the analogy is very simple. You're going back to an AI is searching for patterns, systematically trying to make sense of things. How does a baby do it? Colorful toys is equal to fun, but tables not fun. If mommy and daddy can speak, maybe I can too. And this is exactly what an AI does. It tries to it tries to find patterns. Now, you must have heard about supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Supervised learning, what is supervised learning? We feed it data, we say good data, bad data, good is equal to brownie points, bad data, not so much. Draw a line, whatever fits in the good data, segment it, whatever is the bad data, segment it. Great, we have classifiers. We have unsupervised learning, where it's like everything that looks sort of similar. Toys, great. Put all the toys together, put all the vegetables together. This is exactly what an AI is doing. I know this is a bit, this analogy is a bit far off, but essentially, if you think at a high level of things, this is exactly what is happening. Now, taking it to the next level, where what can AI cannot do is, let me show you something. Okay, this is not showing here, so I'm gonna play this. I'm going to play 2 audio clips, and I want you guys to listen to it very carefully and tell me what was made by an AI and what was not, right? Here you go. Can you hear it? Come on. One second. Is there an audio jack over here? If you have someone from the team. Okay, I'm gonna just play it on this on my computer. Okay. Everyone can hear it? There. This. Okay, everyone got to know both the clips? Yes? Yes? Great, so A or B? Everyone who says A was made by an AI. Everyone who says B was made by an AI. Great, both were made by AIs. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating to see how can it possibly know the right intonations, the right patterns to know to make music that sounds pleasant. There's a very good website called Jukebox. I'll share the link later. It's called Jukebox, and they have a lot of free sound samples, completely built by AIs. So what it does is they have it completely segregated in terms of different, the genres: melancholic music, happy music, dance music, funny music, EDM music. And what's fascinating to see is that we never tell it. So AI does not have a conscious. We've already been over this. AI does not have a conscious. It cannot know that we're going to like this music or not. And music is a very personal thing. You can't just bang your hands on a keyboard and think that the music coming out of it is super nice. How does it know? Well, so essentially, it comes back to finding patterns and solving a problem. The problem here is that it should be pleasant. Now, how do you define pleasant? You feed it like a bunch of 10,000 songs that sound pleasant or sound melancholic. and we've got an abundance of music. We've got a lot of great musicians. You take all their audio samples, you take a lot of guitar music, a lot of acoustic music, you feed it, and you tell it, okay, here's your good music, here's what doesn't sound good, do your thing, make a difference. With deep learning especially, and neural networks, it's become very good at finding patterns and wavelengths in sound quality, in pitch, in frequency, and come up with these amazing music examples. It's just great to see. So this is just one of the examples of what an AI can solve. Okay. Now, business problems. We saw a few good examples. We understood. So everyone now understands that whenever we're talking about AI, exactly what we're talking about. Yes? Right? We're just trying to find patterns. Everyone knows that, everyone's understood that whenever we're talking about the AI taking over the world, we're talking about like two completely separate things. We're talking about super intelligent AI and narrow AI. Now, super intelligent AI would essentially have like a huge net of its own narrow AIs, and it's a very abstract concept. It's not very far from possibility though, but it's still an abstract concept. In business problems, we use narrow AI. We take a very small problem and we try to find a solution to it. Now, good examples of narrow AIs, which don't sound so narrow, are AlphaGo. Everyone who's heard of AlphaGo, the Google's engine that beat the best Go player in the world in, well, Go. It also beat Google's DeepMind, which beat the best chess player in the world in chess. So you have to understand that, so these kind of networks are self-learning, as you very well said. What it will do, so now we're not feeding it good or bad data. An example would be video games. Now, you might have also heard that OpenAI, which is a company by Elon Musk, so they made an engine, a gaming engine that plays Dota 2, which is a multiplayer game. And what it does is it keeps playing with itself. It takes thousands of games. In the beginning, it doesn't even know how to move, right? In the beginning, it takes 2 steps, it takes 2 steps back. It just does its thing. And now it's generating its own good data and bad data. And that's where the line between narrow AI and super intelligent AI blurs, right? Now it's making its own data. Now it's, okay, so the goal is to kill the opponent. How do you kill the opponent? You can move around, you have a weapon, you can buy weapons, and this is like crazy computation. Your brain cannot do that. I mean, video game players, yeah, they know all the tools, they know all the, they know what weapons to take, what's the opponent's weakness, but the computer can do it in minutes, in seconds, and think about all the possibilities that it can go through very quickly. So, looking at that, we want to see how we can use AI to solve business problems. Now, a lot of companies are already doing it. We have Netflix, it's always giving you recommendations. We have Spotify, similar thing. Google over there is trying to use AI to, take low-res images and convert to high-res images. Now, think again. Low-res images to high-res images, how does it do it? Google made Google Photos, which is like free uploading of data, right? Free uploading of photos for everyone. What does it do with it? It takes like billions and billions of photos. It makes sense of what a human looks like, and it's capable of then converting, being able to predict basically what the next frame or next pixel should look like. So over there, the girl is looking not so pretty, and then suddenly she's looking very pretty. And I want to show you how, so this is like very small examples of narrow AI, and now I'm going to show you a video, which I'm not sure if you guys have seen Google I/O, which was amazing, and they introduced something called Google Duplex, which actually, literally mimics the human interaction, and it's amazing. Okay.
60% of small businesses don't have an online booking system set up. We think AI can help with this problem. So let's go back to this example. Let's say you want to ask Google to make you a haircut appointment on Tuesday between 10 and noon. So what you're going to hear is the Google Assistant actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you. Let's listen.
So how can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me 1 second.
You see that?
Sure, what time are you looking for around? At 12 p.m. We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15. Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.? Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for? Just a woman's haircut for now. Okay, we have a 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. is fine. Okay, what's her first name? The first name is Lisa. Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd. Okay, great. Thanks. Great. Have a great day. Bye.
Okay, so what did you think about that? Now, most people would not be able to tell that they're speaking with a robot, right? The intonations are perfect, the pitch, the sound, the way she talks, like if she gives a pause, she's like, I mean, that's so human, and Google's telling the assistant to do it because they want it to be seamless, they want it to be so human-like, they want it to be. So now this demo, maybe the haircut salon person already knew about the phone call and was doing it this way. But I have another example where the person that was making the appointment had no clue that they were talking to a robot, and that makes things very interesting because when you don't know you're talking to a robot, you're gonna say random things, and if the AI can make sense of that, I mean, I think it's almost solved the Turing problem. You cannot tell if it's an AI or a person. Let's take a look at that. So this is a call to a restaurant, okay? And the other person has no clue they're talking to an AI.
How may I hear you?
Hi, I'd like to reserve a table for Wednesday the 7th.
For 7 people?
It's for 4 people.
4 people when?
Next Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Oh, actually we leave here for after 5 people. For 4 people you can come.
How long is the wait usually to be seated?
When, tomorrow or weekday or?
For next Wednesday, the 7th.
Oh, no, it's not too busy. You can come for 4 people, okay?
Oh, I gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Oh, look at that. There was literally no way I could have told that I'm speaking to a robot. I mean, it made the... So, one of a bit unnatural thing that you might be able to point out over here is that it was hell-bent on setting that appointment. Like, no, we don't set an appointment for 4 people. And it's like, okay, how long is the wait time? And that was probably the only small and when you're talking naturally, you can't tell. I mean, like, that was a perfectly natural thing to do. Okay, she's like, we don't make appointments for people less than 5. You have to come over, and then a perfectly natural question would be, how long would it take for me to get seated if I come over? And it's just amazing to see. Now, this is not in production yet, and there's been a lot of fight on social media about how good this is, or if it should be there at all. And people have this concern, like, if I'm speaking to a robot, I want to know that I'm speaking to a robot. I mean, like, what do you think my time is worth? And the robot's going to be like, hi, I want to set up an appointment for a client, and then it's like, okay, but another problem is that if you know that you're speaking to a robot, you're going to be like, every day think of yourself as a manager, right? You're sitting at the restaurant reception, and they're like, yes, I'm booking an appointment, and the next thing is something, hi, this is Google Assistant, I want to book, and then just kind of hang up, like, just shut up, and I want to talk to a real person. And I can see what Google is trying to do here. Google is trying to mend that gap because it wants it to be natural. It's very easy to build a robot to do these things, make an appointment, but it's not that easy to make it as natural and human sounding like as it is. Now, how are they doing it? I'm going to be like not very technical here. Just so they have this technology called Tachytron and WaveNet, right? So WaveNet is their text-to-speech system, and Tachytron is their automatic sound recognition system, right? What they're trying to do is this is exactly what happened. When someone makes an appointment, it runs through their network, it tries to make sense of it, it goes through all the data it's being served, it thinks about what kind of response is expected, and then it goes on to deliver it. Now, the text-to-speech system is so natural. Also, fun fact, the text-to-speech system used to be very crappy. I mean, when you're listening to a robotic voice, you could tell that you were listening to a robotic voice. Because the way they used to achieve this is they used to make someone stand in front of a microphone, record a few sentences, segregate the syllables, and then try to join them to make new words, which was totally crappy. But now I don't know exactly what they're doing with the Tachytron 2.0, which is so amazing, and you saw what it sounded like. I mean, this is some crazy thing, and it's really fascinating to see. Okay, we saw a lot of examples here. We saw what kind of problems the AI is trying to solve. We saw a bunch of business use cases for restaurants, for hair appointments, to call a friend, to do random things. But if you take a holistic, all-around view, what are we trying to do here? What is the one thing that all businesses, everyone is trying to fix using AI? Anyone?
Make our job easier.
Generate more revenue.
Drive more revenue? Okay. Yes?
Try to solve a problem.
Okay.
Make our life simpler.
Efficiency and productivity.
Great. These are all great answers, and I think they're perfect. But if I had to use just 2 words to describe all of these, it would be improve a business's user experience. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to solve the biggest problem of it all. What makes one person go to a business and say, shut up and take my money? It's user experience. If the user experience is good, they're going to love it. And this is exactly what we want to. So whenever we're thinking about AI, whenever we're thinking about solving problems, whenever we're thinking about using AI in our applications, we have to think, how does it improve the user experience? And very good examples of this were WaveNet and Tachytron and their amazing Google Assistants. So that's what Siri is trying to do, right? I never set my own. I have not opened the alarm app in 2 years because I just opened my phone. I was like, okay, Google, wake me up at 5 every single time. Works like a charm. You should try it. And it's amazing user experience, right? I don't have to open the alarm app. It's probably super shady anyway. This is what we're trying to reach, okay? Human. So think of this as your business, and think of that as yourself. When you're a business and you're using AI, you're not a business anymore. You're almost human, and humans like to interact with other humans. Humans like people-to-people interaction, and if you can bridge that gap, you're golden. Now, we saw a few good use cases here and there, and something that I'm very passionate about, and I try to think about ways that AI can solve problems in this area is financial technology. Now, why I think that AI is a very good bet for financial technology is because fintech is just numbers. It's a numbers game. You make a transfer, you make a transaction, you invest your money. It's a numbers game, and who is better at numbers than, well, computers? When you're thinking about this, think about it so the way I'm thinking about it is in like a huge holistic perspective. Right now, I'll give you a very simple example. I want to get a new credit card. I called the bank and they were like, okay, what is your application number? It's still in processing, this, that. I mean, I can think of like starting a business right now that can just process credit card applications, and you can have your credit card the next day. And Emirates NBD is doing that very well. If you're using Live, which is like a debit card app by Emirates NBD, it's amazing. You just scan your Emirates ID and you get your card the next day. It's perfect. Why are other people not doing it? Completely beyond me, but okay. So when I think about fintech, five major ways to solve problems come to my mind. And this is just an example, okay? Now you can take artificial intelligence and put it in literally any business and make it better. But why I took fintech, I like it, and personally I've found that it's sort of lagging behind. The tech companies are doing really well, especially in US, Square and PayPal. They're doing amazing, Braintree, but there's still a lot of room for improvement. And these are the five things that come to my mind, like off the top of my head. Credit scores. Credit scores are super important. They use manual computation to do credit scores, but now if you use machine learning, subset of AI, if you use machine learning, you can give even better credit scores but credit card companies can give better credit scores. People cannot fraud around with this because it's a machine. It'll never go wrong. It does not have a conscience. It's not going to mess up. I mean, it can mess up if the programmers are weird, but you get the point, right? Asset management, investing in companies. Okay, so we have hedge funds these days. We have this guy who's looking at the numbers, and honestly, after dabbling around with trading and investing a bit, I found out that it's like betting on horse racing. That stock's going to go up, that stock's going to go down. And I know some of you are going to be like, no, it's not like horse betting. You don't know which horse is going to win. Like, okay, maybe you do. Maybe you're looking at previous data. Okay, you're looking at previous data to see which horses win. Now you're seeing that which horse has the most likelihood to win. Okay, what do you do in stocks? How does a blue chip company operate? How you look at their past data, you're like, oh, super stable company, 30 years, always making profits, nice. Here, take my money. It's exactly like horse betting. And who's better at horse betting, humans or computers? Who's better at looking at past data, machine learning, and predicting what the next thing is going to be? Is it humans or a computer? And if we're going to say humans, I'm going to be like, either the person is like super lucky, and every time he says some stock is going to go up, it's going to go up. I mean, everyone, you literally cannot beat a computer, in looking at past data and predicting the future data, right? So, fraud busting, very important. And you already know about this, like spam detection and fraudulent credit card transactions. I mean, these are the things that machine learning started with. These are the things that machine learning started with. These are the things that these are kind of the first problems that we've been trying to solve. Customer service. This is my favorite one. Remember, human interaction, people, businesses. What do you have? You have amazing customer service company, Clio. Clio is a great company. You shoot a chat to a bot. The bot texts you in a very humanly way, solving your problem. I mean, I can think of like millions of problems that I face every day with multiple companies that a text could solve. And if we have good data, good algorithms, good AI behind these text bots, I mean, we can eliminate a lot of these problems. And bots, well, bots are amazing. Now, if you think about fintech, think about a bank. Now, think about a bank as a human. Think about it as, right now you're thinking about banks, a lot of executives, there's this manager always be like, hello sir, I'm at your beck and call, what do you need? No, you don't need any of that. Hey, I need a credit card. Okay, the bot will be like, just upload your passport or your MSID. Boom, there. Great, your card will be delivered tomorrow. All the verification, the the analysis of is the photo all right, is the images okay. Now we have algorithms for that. We can test that. We can check that. We can check the authenticity of something using past pictures. We can do all these things. Why do we need to spend so much money on manpower? Why do we need to spend? Why do we need to waste time and grow users' frustration? This is terrible user experience. And what is your business doing if you have terrible user experience? Not doing anything. Okay. We heard a lot of things. We saw what is super intelligent AI, what is a generic AI. How can we think about AI in our own applications? How can we improve user experience? And before this talk, if someone said AI, you just look at his face for 2 minutes. If you do not know what AI is, obviously, if you already knew that. Now, you're going to say it's like, yeah, cool concept, cool stuff, see on TV all the time. But it's overwhelming. Where do you start, right? You have no clue. Now, I hope that I have been able to transfer some of the, like, anyone in the room who does not have a holistic understanding of what AI is now, please raise your hand. No? Great. My problem is solved. Now, you know what AI is. You know what problem you're trying to solve. You know what your business does. You know what you do. And now you can think about how AI can help you. You can think about what can you use to solve your problems, your company problems. You're starting a new startup. You're thinking about it being AI first, and now you can think about those things and having this thing. And so where do you start? So big companies, they've already been working on these problems like forever, and they have built certain tools, which are really amazing. Dialogflow. This is one of the tools that I started with when I had no clue what I was doing. I was just going to like a bunch of hackathons and trying to build an AI-first application. And I'm like, great, we have to build a neural network now. Python, GitHub, buzzwords, ... No clue what to do. Check this out. Dialogflow, it's an amazing application by Google. They have, so basically you can build chatbots, right? Chatbots, you will write, okay, if a user says hi, take all the similar words of hi and respond in a particular way. So if someone says hi, say yo, right? And now, if you build a bot using Dialogflow, so super simple, like a few clicks, boom, you have a bot. If someone says hi, someone says hola, someone says oi, someone says bonjour, it's always going to reply like yo. And that's you can think about the AI as a black box, but you can start to see how the AI is solving your problems. TensorFlow. This is a complicated one, only for engineers. Disclaimer. The guy who was talking about Pokemons, how was he making Pokemons out of other Pokemons? Like, he literally created new Pokemons. It was very fascinating to see how you do that. TensorFlow, amazing library. Again, think of AI like a black box, feed it a bunch of images, tell it what to do, it's going to throw back something that you want. Now you have to set the parameters, you have to set up the neural network, you have to do all those things, but holistically, overall, you're trying to solve a problem. You're trying to make a new Pokemon. You have a bunch of Pokemons. Okay, what do you use? You use TensorFlow. Read up the documentation. I'm not going to go into the code or the technical bits. Super nice. OpenAI. Now, we discussed a lot of narrow AI here. This guy is backed by Elon Musk, so obviously it has to be crazy. The dude sends cars in rockets. This is all about super intelligent AI. So OpenAI has a lot of papers on what is the latest research in AI is going on. They have a lot of tools on GitHub. You can check out. It's fascinating. Whatever problem it is, you're going to find that you're trying to solve. You're going to find some sort of resource or help reference thing on their website. PyTorch is like TensorFlow by Facebook. So there you have it. Thank you. If you guys have any questions, happy to answer them. If you don't, that'd be great. Right? Yes. Which one again, sorry? Ah, okay, I'm not so sure about that, but I'm interested.
Okay, my question was, that may change the next way AI is actually deployed.
Is it like a super intelligent AI or a narrow AI?
Well, it's just an experimental, but actually built finally after 4 years the actual computer, essentially replicating the actual connectivity within the neurons within the brain, and that started testing how human brain works to replicate within AI.
Oh, okay, very good. I think that's trying to come close to super intelligent AI. It's pretty cool. Elon Musk kind of thing. Interesting, yes. It's crazy. Anything else? Yes.
Just not really a question. I just wanted to tell that everybody who are concerned about the AIs
Yes.
that will take over
Right.
the planet. There is a talk by Charlie Stross, the science fiction writer, talked on the Chaos Communication Congress in Germany. The talk is called "Do You Know the Future?" And basically the point is artificial intelligence already took over the world, we didn't notice it. And we are already...
Okay, that's an interesting turn of events.
The point is he considers any corporation an artificial intelligence.
Ah, okay.
If you think about it, how much
okay,
how much influence they have, and he called them slow AIs. And the point is, like, if you think how successful can a single human be trying to oppose a corporation?
Right, absolutely. Because it's just out of their control, right? Just like an AI. Very nice. Check that out at the talk. I will look at it too. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.